Granted supervised release, Nicolas Sarkozy has left prison and returned home after 21 days in detention over the alleged Libyan funds case. In the early afternoon, around 3 p.m., the gates of Paris's La Santé prison opened and a dark-tinted car, escorted by police motorcyclists, pulled away amid flashes and cameras. The image of the former head of state leaving the facility marks the temporary epilogue of a phase that began with his first-instance 5-year sentence for alleged illicit financing linked to Muammar Gaddafi's regime and continued with the immediate motion for release. The judges justified their decision by stating that there is no risk of tampering with evidence, pressure, or collusion, and that pretrial detention is therefore no longer warranted. Hence the imposition of judicial supervision, which entails precise obligations: a ban on leaving France, a prohibition on contact with co-defendants and witnesses, and an interdiction on contacting Gérald Darmanin, who visited the former president on October 29th. Procedurally, the prosecution had requested release under supervision, citing Article 144 of the Code of Criminal Procedure, which limits provisional detention to cases where it is necessary to prevent evidentiary contamination or forbidden contacts. While underscoring the gravity of the allegations and the severity of the sentence, the prosecution maintained that the decision should be guided solely by the legal criteria, a line the court adopted, thus allowing the former tenant of the Élysée to leave the cell where he spent 3 weeks in conditions that he himself described as a hard, very hard experience. In the hearing preceding the decision, Sarkozy appeared strained yet determined to reject every charge. "I want people to be convinced of one thing. I never had the crazy idea of asking Mr. Gaddafi for any financing. I will never acknowledge something I did not commit," he declared via video link, noting that he had responded scrupulously to all summonses and had never imagined at 70 that he would know prison. Upon leaving La Santé, there was no speech, just a nod, the door closing, and the escort moving off in formation as the neighborhood returned to normal. As established, from today the former president must comply with conditions that will be regularly verified. Any violation could bring back the harsher measure. Those close to him describe hours of high tension and restrained relief, aware that the judicial path remains open and that the Paris Court of Appeal will examine appeals and set the next timetable. Meanwhile, public sentiment remains mixed. On one side, those who speak of exemplary firmness; on the other, those who invoke the presumption of innocence and the need to guarantee equal rights and duties for all. Before leaving the facility, Sarkozy paid tribute to the prison staff, whom he called of exceptional humanity, acknowledging that the officers' conduct made a stretch of road lived as a nightmare bearable. His words, in a terse statement, convey the image of a man who chews on bitterness and steers his communication along 2 registers: firmness in proclaiming his innocence and respect for the institution that detained him. The recent timeline lines up the events: the first instance conviction in September, entry into La Santé on October 21st, and today, November 10th, 2025, release with additional restrictive measures and a phase under judicial supervision. Public debate in France, once again, questions the proportionality of precautionary measures and the need to prevent criminal proceedings from becoming an arena for political interpretations. On the merits of the charges, the defense continues to contest the prosecution's account, citing misunderstandings, contradictory testimony, and documents that must be read with caution. The prosecution replies that the indications are serious and precise, and that justice will bring full clarity. In between remains today's scene: the car gliding away, the murmur of the press, the barriers, officers calling out, the gate closing, and a November afternoon resuming its rhythm as Paris leaves behind a fragment of judicial history still in the making.